Hey. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Rotary Club of Barrie. I'm just going to do a bit of a sound check with the Zoomers. Can you guys hear me? And we're good, yes. I got the thumbs up going. And a special welcome to our Rotarians and special guests. Things go better when you are here. There are a couple of new COVID rules meeting, so there will be no singing. It's just one of the rules, and we'll go from there. So we will start with O Canada and a toast with the Queen.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true, most strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you for your patience and some of our technical new interesting things that we have to sort out. So very much appreciate your patience through this. So we have introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians. I'll start with the Zoomers. Zoomers, do we have any guests and visiting Rotarians?
President Deb.
Okay, so we're good. Okay, I think we're all in sync now. So, welcome. Most definitely. Hope you enjoy our meeting and at least get a little chuckle and fun at some of the things that we're going through here. Our beacon editor this week is Arif. So if you have any messages or notes, please send it off to him. And thanks, Doug. I know it was a bit of a struggle trying to put that one together, but thanks so much for getting a beacon together last week. Now we have special presentations and announcements. We do have, okay, Todd, Katie or Jenny, I'm not sure which Todd is, not here right now. Mike is on Zoom. John Laking's on, Jody's here. Okay. And we've got one. You all set for Zoom announcements? Okay, we'll do Zoom announcements.
Thanks, President Deb, fellow Rotarian and guests. I'm here actually on behalf of the Vocational Committee, and I'm here today to talk about the Rotary Annual Grade 2 Book Day. The book day this year is going to be held on Wednesday, November the 18th. And although the book day is going to look a little bit different this year, the school board is still very supportive of us doing this. So instead, in the past, what we've had is Rotarians and special guests obviously going to the individual schools and read the Andy and Elmer's Apple Dumpling book to grade 2 students. So this year, instead of that, and in light of what's going on we're actually going to be making a video of Sprocket reading the book, which will be videotaped, and then we'll share that to be played in all the classrooms in Barrie. This year, the Innisfil Club has declined in terms of their participation in the book project. So this will be just a very central program for this year. We've also added, thanks to the PR committee, I've added a little twist and a contest to drive more traffic to our Facebook page. So there's going to be a baking contest for those that follow the recipe at the end of the book, and then post those pictures on our Facebook page, and they'll be eligible to possibly win a prize. So thanks very much to the PR committee for working on that contest. Certainly more details to follow on that. I also did want to just do a quick shout out to Gary Kopp from Ruthco and Kelly Bess from Telequip, who have again been sponsors of the book project for this year. So thanks very much. And actually Kelly is looking after the shipping arrangements, getting the books from Ohio to us here in Barrie. So thanks very much for those guys. I would say we are still looking for 1 to 2 additional sponsors for those of you that are interested in sponsoring the book project. We will be adding stickers into the books, listing all of our sponsors in the book project as well. So just see. We'll also be holding, obviously, when all the books get here, we'll be holding a packing party within the guidelines, obviously, that were acceptable, to get some different flyers and the stickers in the books and in the packages for the different schools. So again, please mark November 18th down as our Rotary book day for grade 2 students. And please let me know if you have any questions. And that's it, Deb. Thanks very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Who do we have lined up? John Laking.
Hi, President Deb. Just making an announcement for Festival of Trees. It's that time of year. There was an excellent email go out from Jeff McEwig this morning. Thank you. And people are responding very quickly. And not everybody can make every event, and we recognize that, and we're going to be very limited on how we can deal with it. So if people just email me, then I'll deal with everybody individually, and we'll make groups come out when we can set it up. We'll set a schedule. We're looking forward to it. Everything seems to be on track at this stage. So basically, just to make sure that everybody responds to the email that's interested.
Thank you very much. And we have Katie.
Hi, everyone. This is just a reminder to like our Facebook page for the Halloween event. So it is coming up very soon. I don't know if anyone can hear me. Oh. All right, so again, right now we only have about 50-ish people liking the page. So I started messaging some of you fellow Rotarians, so to make sure that everyone's liking and sharing the page, because otherwise we're never gonna, I think we have like 4 or 5 people signed up. So otherwise we're just basically gonna be giving away the prizes. So again, we're not always looking for donations right now. We're just looking for people just to sign up and to get some more enthusiastic for the event.
Thank you, Jenny. Todd Armstrong.
Yes, President Deb, first of all, congratulations to you for keeping that smile going with all of the technical glitches that are going on today. Just wanted to put in a reminder to everybody that the auction is coming up in a mere 16, 17 days. So this Thanksgiving week, the donations slowed down a little bit, but we still did get 10 more in, so we're up to 134. I'm really hoping we can double up on that number in the next 2 weeks. So if everybody could please get those donations in, and let's have ourselves a great fundraising auction. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. And we've got Jody.
Thanks, President Deb. Just a note, unfortunately, we're going to postpone the art and food auction for now with the way things are going. So for those of you that we're looking to support that, maybe you can throw the money you would have spent on a ticket towards Todd and helping support our Rotary auction right now. So we'll come back when the time is a little more appropriate for our auction gala dinner night. But in the meantime, if we can support the club auction, that would be great. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Jody.
Thank you, Jody. And we do have a message from David Tish. So announcement, Friday, 23rd October at 10 a.m. There will be a ceremonial raising of the Polio Plus flag at City Hall. Jeff Hicks from the Barrie Huronia Club has organized this event and would like as many Rotarians as possible to attend. And I think that's it. Okay. Any other announcements we need? Here, Zoom. Nope, don't say anything. Looks like we can move on. Birthdays and anniversaries. So we have Wayne Dennis, October 15th, Doug Bingley, October 16th, and Steve Blanchette, October 19th. Our anniversaries is Daryl Smith and Stephanie, 26 years, October 15th, 1994. And our date joined Rotary anniversary is Jason MacArthur at 11 years. So we do have a birthday song. We can always ask our favorite SAA to do his awesome song.
We're doing no singing inside. Zoomers can sing, that's true.
Okay, so Zoomers, you're going to be put on the spot. So Zoomers need to sing the happy birthday.
Happy
Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear fellow, birthday to you. Happy birthday, Todd Campbell's an awful singer.
Happy birthday to you.
We made it almost
Happy.
Happy.
Thank you,
My
Zoomers.
birthday's coming up.
I'm kind of glad that we do have control over
Because my birthday's
if
coming
that
up.
went on too much longer. But as you know, for a happy birthday, there's a
Here?
polio worldwide.
So the condo.
And for your anniversary, a donation against the fight against
I
COVID-19.
put it inside our CB truck Facebook page.
And we've got somebody
Come
talking
into
on
into
Zoom.
that condo.
Okay. SAA Eric.
Okay, we're gonna, I'm gonna unmute and try to move away
from the echo zone.
Out
We'll
of the
see.
echo zone.
We'll see if that works for us. Okay, and Jeff, we do have some slides for these ones. I'll do a quick check. Is Steve Blanchette online today?
I don't see him.
All right. So he ducked out on President Deb today. That's a different find. We'll do that one later. So let's hold there for a second. Because we happen to be in person, you'll find that I did put out some buckets today. because I know you'll all want to put in some happy bucks just for those who are here in person. So you'll see green and blue up there. Feel free to pay your fines for reals today, or some happy bucks into the bins. I thought if you really want to get technical, there's a green bin and there's a blue bin up on the tables. So you could do green if you feel the SAA is doing a good job and you kind of like what you're seeing. And blue can be your, you could actually get this a little bit finer tuned. Thank you very much. So that's your opportunity to vote before the US election. All right, let's go to slide next, Jeff. So we're going to focus on golf for a little bit. News from the course. Last week we did have an SAA fellowship golf tournament chaired by Chris Garapy, past president, past SAA, Chris Garapy. Chris, thanks for organizing that. Now the weather did improve as we got underway, and certainly enjoyed that. Chris, I understand your team experienced a breach of contract issue. Did you want to tell me a little bit what that looked like? And there's Chris.
Sure, President Deb, how are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah, we had, you know, at the beginning of the game, as you know, the rules were play whatever you want, correct? Everybody that played, that's what it was. So we played a game, it was called Hollywood. So you had a different partner for each 6 holes. So you move it around, and it was a, you know, a minor bet on what would be owed if you lost the 6 holes and stuff. So we get to the end of the game, and Steve's there, Jody's there, and I'm there. Our 4th failed.
Oh, and who's the 4th?
Larry Pomfret. And he was the fella that owed the most.
That sounds like an implied contract.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
No question, yeah.
Do you know whether,
He welched on his bet.
is there anybody in the club of a paralegal nature who might actually understand what a breach of contract looks like and what would be an appropriate fine? Larry, do you have a comment on that one?
President Deb, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Very well, thank you. My concern with Mr. Garapy's submission is that he's shown no proof other than his own self-interested testimony that I actually attended any golf course on the day in question. So having said that, and in the spirit of the 4-way test, yes, I was there. Yes, I did play golf in the manner that my father would have described as couldn't hit a cow in the ass with a shovel. And yes, I quite likely owed the most money. Sadly, I did have another appointment to attend to immediately thereafter, but I'm more than welcome to pay whatever I owe, not to the sketchy golfers with kicking the ball in the hole sort of talent, but to Polio Plus.
Wonderful. Now, what would your handicap be?
My golf game.
Handicap is the swing. That's a standard handicap. Mr. Garapy, does Mr. Pomfret owe some individuals?
Oh, yeah, he owes us all, I think.
Okay.
I don't know, poorly golf. Jody was the winner.
Ah.
Like Steve, very, very, it was a meager amount. I think it would have amounted to probably $10 plus, at least. So since he bailed on paying, it's hard for the president we have to.
President Deb, what do you think? I mean, we do have sunshine cups, so we can actually pay up. It's good.
I know, this is exciting. Well, definitely, I think the $10 is in order, but I think the other $10 should go towards golf lessons.
Actually, I'll put what I'd be happy to do is, because I don't happen to have a 10 in my pocket, I'd be happy to pay $10 for that. And then I did, as you know, sanitize some pens for the very good of the club. But I didn't realize till afterwards they say LJP Legal Services. So I'll put another $10 in.
That sounds like 20.
That's good. That's good advertising. Yep, we got the advertising box.
So I'll put that in the green bin.
Wise choice.
Right now, Bruce Shipley's been, you know, on Zoom talking business, and the Zoomers are saying he's up to $20, $30 as well for plugging his business.
That's good business there, Bruce. That's a good deal.
Yeah, I think we just scored another $10 as a year.
Excellent. That's great. Yeah, we are starting to see some of that Zoom etiquette. Lots of business being done while at a Rotary meeting. Is Dave McCullough on Zoom today? Team McCullough at the golf tournament?
I'm here, Eric.
He is here.
I'm here. Hi,
Okay,
President
good. So we got Dave McCullough on. Is Bernie still online?
Who?
Bernie Still?
Dave, are you about?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let's put that slide up, Jeff. We got voice of God going on now. And we'll maybe move that over a little bit. Deb. There we go. So we did have the team McCullough did have a celebrity player there. Dave, did you want to describe who your celebrity was?
Well, right now I'm looking at. Well, there we go.
And
yeah, one. Thank you to Chris Garapi for organizing the day. It was fantastic. Our group actually won the tournament. We were -4. I don't know any other score like that. But the one thing that I noticed is that I want to thank Craig. We didn't realize that, Chris Garapi, we didn't realize it was a celebrity pro-am. And we thought Bernie Still was going to be playing with us with Marley and Laking, but it ended up we had Willie from Duck Dynasty. No words? Everyone's muted.
All right. Those who are here can see the picture.
Okay, can you hear me now?
All right, we're going to let that one go. Maybe we'll bring a picture of Bernie back in future. Challenges in getting our mutes and unmutes going here. Thanks, past President Dave. We'll come back to you guys when Duck Dynasty Man is here. All right, this one. Okay, here's an interesting team, and there must be stories. I'm not sure if any of the folks from this team are here, but when you've got Tucky and Lorimer and Robinson and who's our fourth, Markle, all in one foursome, there's got to be stories yet untold. Let's just see if we've got one of that team here. Was there anything that maybe wasn't reported that we should know about from that day?
President Deb, yeah, there was, and we're probably better to keep it that way. right on that hole, there was almost a fight with a group that had nothing to do with us.
Oh, good.
Or 3 of us out of our group. You look at the common denominator, you'll figure it out where that fine belongs, President Deb.
Very good.
Well, you know what?
It's the brightly colored one. That limits it.
Yeah, I see that too. He left early too, didn't he?
For good reason, yeah.
Well, he still left early. You know, past President Chris put a lot of effort into putting this together.
Exactly.
COVID, there's a lot
it's
of
not
other
right.
complications.
No respect.
Trying to put this together. So I think the whole team should cough up $5.
They absolutely should. Every one of those 3.
Oh, you're not up the, you got up the last week.
Okay, thank you, President Deb. I'll put in for the team and they can all catch up. We'll find the blue bin.
All right, good. Yeah, we go.
Green.
Thanks, Todd. Okay, what do we got for another slide up there? Let's move that one. So we got All the President's Women. Could be a new movie coming out soon. President Debbie leading the team. Is that her Secret Service agent, or how well did that team go for you, President Deb? How did that team work for you?
You know, that team was awesome.
And were there any special stories we should know about from that team, past President-elect?
President Deb, it was a great day. We had a lot of fun, and we were acting as the Secret Service for the President. The foursome in front and behind were rather scary individuals. The only story that I could say about this is that Kara apparently doesn't golf. And I've played with her 3 times now, and she can outdrive, outpitch, and outputt everybody around her. So I think she's a ringer.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, I'd say that's probably worth some happy bucks from the team if they've suddenly got a new ringer in play. Kara, how did your game go?
President Deb, good to see you up there. Yeah, I mean, my golf game is a typical newbie. I make some really great shots and surprise myself, and then I make an occasional not so good shot.
Can you explain maybe that not so good shot, Kara?
I'd be happy to. Off the tee wasn't great. I think we're on number 3. I go up onto the top of the hill there to make my second shot, not quite into the adjacent fairway, but almost close. And the girls are off to the right. I tee up my shot, and it was a not so good shot, and beelined it right for President Deb, and I actually hit her.
Wow. Wow.
And I couldn't even do that right because I yelled heads instead of 4.
So you got a Secret Service member who actively takes out the president.
Not so good.
It was a pretty scary moment, but I did have the other 2 to protect him.
It's true.
All was good in the end.
That's
It
good.
was kind of scary, actually.
And how many balls did you lose over the course of the day?
Oh, too many to count, I think.
So that
Yeah.
could be considered a fine, President Deb. But if you do think that you deserve a little bit of damages paid into the green pot or the blue pot, that's fair by me.
Actually, in Kara's defense, she was behind President Deb and the rest of us. So clearly, as you know, you're not supposed to go in front of somebody who hasn't shot. So I just felt for, calling you out, I thought I should, sort of go on the other side as well. So.
Well, that does sound as though the team should probably each toss in a couple of bucks into the bin.
Forget what I said, but I really meant to say.
Because golf etiquette is Rotary etiquette, after all.
That's right. Okay.
Well, luckily, at the end of the day, we did have some doctors, so that made it all good.
This is good.
So, yeah, I'm not going to find my Secret Service.
Fair enough. Jeff, what else have we got up there? Okay, this was nice. The president bought a round for our foursome. So in this case, I think that's probably just a happy buck or 2. So I'm going to set an example and put a couple of happy bucks in the bin. I think I'll go for the green bin. Just got to protect my own reputation.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the round, President Deb.
Zoomers, are you doing okay?
Able to see some of these? Okay. Back us up one. Okay, swing analysis. So Louise Jones, of course, took all of these awesome shots for us. And, this was a pretty good look at the way the day looked for us. There you see Sebastian with a pretty decent follow through. His ball is actually heading towards a patch of green, unlike mine with my follow through right around my butt. And the ball heading off into trees, which was pretty much what the day looked like. That one actually caught air, which was a little bit unusual. But this was really what was going on with our foursome. So I'm, again, going to throw in a couple of happy bucks for being able to play with a great mixed team. So I'm pretty sure we won the mixed team of the tournament, as I think we were the only one, weren't we? So we're definitely winners. But I wanted to thank Sebastian for that learning experience there. And a big thanks to Louise for the photos. This is just a nice example of just what a beautiful day we were able to experience out at Innisbrook. They did a lovely job for us, a great little barbecue. We didn't get a chance to kind of hang together afterwards, but a really great day. So thanks, Chris, for putting that together. And thanks, Louise, for the photos. How's our timing, President Deb? Yeah, this was, basic Zoom etiquette. This was from last week's meeting. I was doing a little bit of scanning in the background and noticed Marshall appeared to have a device attached to his head that doesn't appear to be using the Zoom at that moment. So
Marshall, any explanation for taking a call during a Rotary meeting?
I'm trying to think of one. Was I calling you at the time? I think I had a donation to organize for the RVH. No, that's not going to work. I guess I can't be heard. I'm unmuted, but it looks like I'm not being heard. Ah. I guess I escaped the fine because you can't hear my...
Yeah, we're able to...
You can't hear my explanation.
We're hearing you quite well, Marshall.
Oh, darn. I think I might get a call from a doctor organizing an so I can stay healthy in these meetings. How's that work? Did you get my President Deb?
A while to get President Deb out.
I'm unmuted now, and I said I think that call was from a doctor, so that just trying to keep myself healthy so I can make all these meetings. Does that work?
Okay, so interesting meeting. But Marshall, yeah, definitely. Let's see, not addressing the chair, being on the phone through a Rotary meeting. And especially on Zoom when it's so easy to duck outside of the camera zone to not get caught. I think that's got to be at least $5.
Okay.
Thanks, Marshall.
All right, let's call it quits at that. Jeff, we'll save a couple in the can for next time. And thank you for this hybrid session of SAA.
Thank you very much, S.A. Eric. It is, I don't know if we've really gotten into what a routine looks like for our meetings yet, because every meeting seems to be different technology, different places, and we're just kind of running with it. So way to go. We collected some more money and we're good.
And those bins are still here all day. No problem at all. Catch them on your way out.
So for the early leavers, which we do have one here in person, and he came up and put his $2 into the bin, which is great etiquette. Thank you very much, Chris. And but now would be the appropriate time to scoot out. So thank you very much. And get this going. Close up. Okay, so this week's program, I will let Mallory introduce.
Close and face. Okay. Thank you, President Deb, fellow Rotarians. I get to introduce Jacob Amaral today. He's our speaker. And Jacob and I did the computer science program together. He's probably the only reason why I graduated. This guy is a genius in the tech, AI, finance world. And I think it's going to be really exciting to hear him talk today. Welcome, Jacob.
Hello there. Today I'm here to talk about automated investing and why I find, one, it's like my biggest passion and I think it's very powerful, and I want to show you guys today the power of using AI when it comes to investing, specifically in stock market, futures market, stuff like that. So hi, my name is Jacob Amaral. I'm one of the founders of We Trade HQ, an online marketplace in terms of financial education. And then I also build automated trading systems that actually trade on the stock market live with my own money. So that's kind of what I do. Slides or the next one. Perfect, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about artificial intelligence first. So artificial intelligence is basically telling the computer to make decisions for you on an automated basis. And I love it because I don't like staring at the screen all day, even though I do. You just want to tap it one more time. So there we have an image of a little robot and a chess piece. So back in, I think, 1996, I believe, if I'm correct, IBM actually built a artificial intelligence that beat the top chess performer, which was crazy. The grandmaster of chess at the time, I forget his name, honestly, but he was a very good player, basically #1 in the world, and IBM built an artificial intelligence to beat him, which was crazy. So very, very powerful, and there's lots of use cases for artificial intelligence to make our lives better and solve a lot of problems. Oh, and second slide there, a popular online video game, I believe Elon Musk's company, OpenAI, built a bot that beat the top players in this online game as well, which was pretty crazy to see as well. And it took them about, I think, 8 months to build that bot where it beat these players that have been, playing for over 10 years. So that was pretty cool as well. So those are some use cases for artificial intelligence. Obviously, what I'm talking about today, it's a little bit different because it comes to the stock market and the financial markets, but those are 2 use cases of artificial intelligence. So when we think of AI and artificial intelligence, this is from the Terminator, obviously, we think it's, kind of an evil thing, and we're worried about it. There's definitely some cons to using AI, and it's how you utilize it. But I think the pros outweigh the cons for sure. And yeah, so next one. Okay, so here's me. Here's a screenshot of me. It's actually a video on YouTube. But basically, this is what I do all day. I build automated trading systems to trade on the stock market. So in this picture here, you see me at the bottom right with my headphones on, and you see a little stock chart in the middle there. I know some of you may not be aware of how stocks work and what the charts look like, but basically in this example, I'm using an automated trading system to make money for me. And in this trade, I think I made $63 just trading one contract of the S&P 500 futures, which are S&P 500 are basically the top 500 companies in the US, and it's the average price of that. So this is what I do, and I want to show you what I do every day on building these trading systems and hopefully trying to profit in the market. It's very, very tough. It's very hard. A lot of people think, if you get in the stock market, you'll be a millionaire overnight, and that's just not true. You're against a lot of people around the world, and the goal is to make a small profit every day. That way you can compound your returns over a long period of time, okay? I love this process of building trading systems, thinking of new ideas and strategies to invest in different markets, and hopefully to try and make a profit. But I found that, it's a very slow process, and you really have to love it to get good at it. If you try and throw all your money in and, buy one stock and hope to be a millionaire, you'll probably go bankrupt very quickly. So it's important to take it slow and love that process. And that's what I love doing. Okay, so before I get talking about the stock market, what's the difference between AI, ML, and DL? So AI is artificial intelligence. Think of it as the grandparent. It's encompasses everything when it comes to telling computers to make decisions for you. And then you have one subset of AI called machine learning, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. Basically, the difference between AI and machine learning is that AI, it makes decisions for you, but it might not learn over time. It might just be kind of set decisions like, if condition, do this, else do this. Or machine learning kind of saves previous information and might make a different decision in the future because of previous decisions, okay? For example, an example of machine learning with the stock market might be, all right, previously you say we made a trade, we invested in X company, the trade didn't do well, we lost money. So in the future, let's make a different decision, hopefully to get a different outcome, okay? And then you have deep learning, which is a subset of machine learning. And that's where it's the same as machine learning, but you take a massive data set, such as 10, 20 years worth of data, and then try and make decisions going forward, okay? But very similar to machine learning. So that's kind of the hierarchy of AI. Okay, and then what is automated investing? So when you invest in financial markets, such as the stock market, you can do it yourself. You can open up a brokerage account with TD, RBC, Scotiabank, that sort of thing. But you can also tell the computer to invest for you automatically as well. And what you do is you essentially hook up to those brokerages and write software to invest for you, okay? So I do that. My brokerage is Interactive Brokers, which is a common worldwide broker. But you can do this with TD, RBC. You can actually hook into their systems and build software to invest for you, to buy and sell stocks, buy companies like Tesla, RBC, TD, automatically, which is really cool. So a lot of the biggest hedge funds in the world and the banks themselves are doing this. They're hiring hundreds of programmers to build these trading systems to make a profit, okay? TD's doing it. They probably have 100 to 200 developers like me working on this 24/7 to build these systems. And it's really powerful. And I think the future is definitely looking towards this angle of using massive amounts of data to invest your money. To eventually, you want to put your money to work. If you leave your money in your checking account, it actually loses its value over time because of inflation, right? Every year, Canada, USA prints more money. So you want to at least try and put it to work every day. That way you can make some type of return. Hopefully, that's the goal, right? So that's automated investing. When we think of the stock market, this is the common picture we see. This is the New York Stock Exchange down on Wall Street, where we see, we think there's a bunch of people there making trades, and that's how it used to be. But it's actually, well, now because of the current situation, it's definitely barren. But there's not as many people actually humans, trading themselves. In return, it's actually more computers, and these hedge funds are hiring actually more analysts and developers to build these trading systems to, make a return for their clients. So what makes a good trading system? Like I said earlier, the notion of simply taking your money and putting it into one stock or one asset, and it's going to make you, many multiple returns is highly unlikely. The overall goal with these trading systems is diversification. So there's three main things that make a really good trading system. Obviously, with every new strategy that I add to my portfolio, you want to have obviously multiple of them, but you want to be able to back test them. You want to be able to think of an idea, right? And say, all right, I have this idea of how the strategy is going to work. Let's run it on the past 10 or 20 years worth of stock market data. And can it make a profit, right? That's step number one. If it can't make a profit, it's probably not good. And you want to think of another strategy, right? Now, these strategies can be very, very simple. I have some strategies that buy when the market opens and sells the next day. And then I have more complicated strategies that actually look at social media, for example, Trump tweets, and make decisions based off of that. So they can be really, really simple and still make a profit. And they can be very, very complex and make a profit. It all depends on risk to reward. How much time are you willing to put into a strategy? Is it going to make you more of a profit? What I found is that it doesn't need to be super complex to make a profit as long as you're, diversifying. Number two, obviously you need in-depth risk management. All right, when you're taking a loss, when you're taking a profit, if you don't have any risk management, you will get obliterated very quickly. So it's important to, with every new strategy, that you have some type of, I ensure that I have some type of risk management when I'm investing my capital. And number three is diversification. Okay, this is definitely number one when it comes to investing. You need to be able to diversify your investments because sometimes the market goes up, sometimes it goes down, and you need to, you don't want to have a massive drawdown where all your capital is in one direction or in one asset, and that doesn't do very well. And at the end of the day, you're at a big loss. So diversifying kind of offsets that risk. A simple example would be, there's obviously sectors when it comes to these companies. You have the tech sector or the healthcare sector. Obviously, if all your money is in tech, for example, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, if they don't do well because of some certain news and the value goes down, you're going to be heavily impacted. But if you had other positions, say in healthcare, that don't really correlate with tech, if you had those positions, say Johnson & Johnson or other stocks like that, your drawdown isn't as much and your risk is decreased. So diversifying and trading different assets is very important. It's very basic. And when it comes to each new trading system that I'm creating, I think of, okay, the system's good, but let's try and diversify and trade other assets so my risk is kind of mitigated. So those are the three main things that make a good trading system. So here's a graph of my actual returns I believe it goes back to June 1st. So these are the actual returns from my trading system. You can see it's not, it's definitely in the profit, but there is some days or some weeks where it doesn't do as well. And these are kind of the real life results you need to expect when you're building these trading systems. And some days you're down, or some weeks are down, some months are down. But these are kind of examples of the returns you can get. Obviously, it's pretty good, I would say. I could do better, but it's not linear. It's not very smooth like you think it would be. It's actually very, very tough. And the hardest part is when I'm adding new strategies to my portfolio. At the end of the day, I don't know how well they're going to do until I run them, right? And if they don't do well, I lose money, and that's just part of the game. You have to, if you want the reward, you have to put in the risk. You have to put in your capital to see returns. And sometimes you lose, and sometimes you have to take out a strategy or add a new one. And sometimes it doesn't perform that well, and you just can't be bummed about it. You have to keep moving forward and keep diversifying and adding new strategies. So yeah. Okay, so here's my process of thinking of these new ideas. And I call this the strategy factory. Okay, so number one, I come up with an idea. All right, an idea, like I said, could be buy Tesla stock when the market opens, sell the next day. Or it could be, all right, let's analyze Donald Trump tweets and see if these stocks move when he says something, and buy those and sell those, right? It can be anything. And every day I think of new ideas, and I write it on my whiteboard. And eventually later, I eventually test them. But that's where it starts with. Number two, build a prototype. Okay, so build the strategy where I actually code it and hook it up with my brokerage. And then I run basically a back test. I say, all right, strategy's done. Let's test it with the last 5 to 10 years worth of data. Okay, does it make a profit? Can it return a profit? Usually I look for at least a year. If I can back test with at least a year and run it through the market and it's profitable, usually it's a pretty good sign. Usually within a year, there is at least 2 market cycles, hopefully. But the more data, the better. Obviously, if you can do 5, 10 years, it's a lot better. So for example, we've been in a bull market where, the overall value of stocks have been going up since 2008 until obviously recently in March, we saw quite a crash, but now we're at all-time highs. I think we've broken all-time highs again, which is insane. Usually how the market works is the crashes are very sudden and drastic. We saw in March alone, the S&P 500 drop. I can't even tell you, it was quite very harsh, but we've been able to return past that, but it takes a longer time to go up than it does to go down. That's how usually it works. And then number 4, run it live. And can it survive at least a month, right? I'll run it live, I'll put my own money into it and see if it can be profitable within that month. If it can't be, I trash it, work on a new strategy, and just rinse and repeat with new ideas and new strategies. I've learned to, yeah, it's okay, you can switch. I've learned to definitely slow down on strategies because adding too many at once can result in a loss as well. So I've kind of slowed down on, all right, let's try one strategy every quarter kind of thing. So how it works in terms of the machine learning part or reinforcement learning, I have some strategies that do incorporate machine learning, where basically the strategy can learn over time and might take different approaches every day, right? The trade it made, say, yesterday, now it might be different today, depending on the previous data. So in terms of machine learning, basically, this is the most simplest diagram we can, I guess, show. Basically, you have a decision or an agent. In real life, we're the agents, right? We learn over time from making mistakes and doing things. So in real life, we would be the agent, but in this case, the computer is the agent. That agent makes an action, right? The action, what is it? Buy or sell, right? Because you can also bet that a stock is going down, but is it going to buy or sell? The environment is the actual stock market changing prices, right? And we can either give it a reward or not a reward if it doesn't do well, right? So if it makes a good trade, for example, the reward could be, okay, you made a profit, awesome, do this strategy again. If it didn't make a profit, well, maybe make another decision, right? It's just like real life. Say you have a dog, you're teaching it a trick, right? The reward is that treat. It's going to do it again, right? If it doesn't get a treat, it's probably not going to do it. So this is an example of a simple example of reinforcement learning. And I incorporate these in not all my strategies, but most of them to have that kind of, edge over the market, because the market changes very, very quickly. And the more chances of you having an edge over the next person, is better at the end of the day, and reinforcement learning helps with that. Thank you. So the future. So basically my end goal is to eventually start some type of fund where I have many trading systems running live and hopefully returning a profit. So the major thing is, trading multiple assets in different classes. So like I said, an asset could be a stock, say a company like TD or RBC. It could be, an option or future. There's other types of assets, but basically diversifying so much that no matter what, every day I'm in some type of profit because my other, assets are doing well and some are not going to do well, right? Usually my portfolio looks, you see some red, some green, some trades are down, some trades are green, and hopefully the green outweighs the red. Risk tolerance levels, I think I've had some failures in the past where I risked a bit too much for the return, where I made a little bit of money, but the losses were quite massive. It took a while to actually even that out. So definitely working on that. And I found that I don't like to hold positions overnight, meaning I don't like to be in a trade overnight because some big gaps can happen the next day where it doesn't go my way. And because it happened overnight, it's such a massive risk. So I try to to sell my positions when the market closes at 4 p.m. That way I can reset the next day. How can I scale this? So I've been trading with about 20 to 25,000 in capital, which is actually quite a small amount compared to what most funds are doing. Can this scale if I was trading with 1 million, 10 million kind of thing? There's many caveats when it comes to that in terms of when you're submitting a trade with say, 10,000 or 15,000, it's not usually an issue, but if you're trading with a lot more money, you can actually affect the market price from your trade, and that can actually go against you. So how can I scale this in a way where I'm not affecting the market too much, and I'm still able to kind of build out my strategy? Because if you're affecting the market, now your strategy can actually be trash because you're affecting it so heavily that it's going against you. So that's an important thing on how I can scale this, and I'm working on that with my team. So I'm working on a flagship product for commercial use. Basically, I also want to create some type of either website or app where you can actually connect it to your brokerage, and it works for you automatically. This is still in the works because I'm obviously testing this very heavily, and I want to make sure it's perfect. But my end goal is to have some type of trading bot or automated trading system AI for you that you can connect with your brokerage and actually trades for you. Working on a dividend strategy as well as a day trading strategy as well. But eventually we want to build that and also build a marketplace where other people can actually upload their trading systems and you can see how much profit they make and actually use them for your own. And basically a marketplace of these trading strategies, I think would be really cool, and I'm really excited for. And then yeah, starting a fund would be my last one. I'm definitely in contacts with some fund managers and definitely would want to partner with someone to do this together. But that's one of the biggest things I want to get into as well. Okay, so what do I do? Obviously, I trade my own capital with my trading systems. I'm just trying to build my track record right now and show people, hey, this is how much I made over 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and eventually use that to start my fund. I build customized trading systems for clients. So I have some clients that already have a strategy in mind where they want me to build something automated for them, some type of software. So I do that for a variety of clients. And I also teach people how to build these customized trading systems through my program at WeTradeHQ as well. So people want to learn, I have programmers that are in college, even in high school, that want to learn how to do this. And I love teaching them how to basically get started and best practices. So that's what I do. And that's it. So appreciate your time, and Mallory and the Rotary Club for this opportunity. There's my email, jake@wetradehq.com if you want to get in touch with me. I have a YouTube channel if you watch YouTube, and my company name is WeTradeHQ. Any questions? First of all, go for it.
Yes. What percentage of the marketplace do you think trades?
I would say probably over 90%. Yeah. If we looked at dollar volume, if you looked at how much money is being traded with, is there more retail traders like you and me than these trading systems? Potentially. But in terms of cash wise, over 90% is AI. Yeah.
Because that takes a lot of the
It does. Yeah, it does. It allows you, you know, you don't have to look at the chart all day and wondering what the stock price is doing. You have your strategy. It's going to run, right? Obviously, there's emotion in if you lose money or make money for sure, but it does solve that issue a little bit for sure. Yeah, no problem. Go for it.
A question as well. How much do you think the market currently is fueled by the fact that people are just so averse to actually buying bonds and fixed income when there is no margin on no interest rates? Is it commoditization of the market?
Yeah, so that's a tough question to answer. I'm definitely not a financial analyst, but right now we've seen quite a return. We've seen all-time highs already. It's only been like 3 or 4 months since the pandemic crash, where in 2008 it took over, I think, 2 years to even see that type of return. I think right now the elections, I think, are definitely a big play into why the market price is so high. And one thing I found is that the stock market doesn't really affect the economy. Obviously, we know Canada and US are in trillions of dollars in debt, but the stock market is doing fantastic. So it doesn't seem like there's a correlation. As far as the bond stuff and the interest rate, I can't really comment on that. I'm not too researched in that. So yeah.
So that's interesting. That's the second question for me. Really was that it's that's what I think what's fascinating is that what the models that you're talking about are algorithm based.
Yeah.
You aren't really looking at fundamentals of the companies. You're looking at what's the market doing with those companies and how to respond to the market changes.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all statistics, right? Statistically, right? If I can take the strategy and run it over the past 5-10 years and statistically it returns a profit, why not use it, right? And yeah, I don't look at fundamentals at all. And there is strategies that do look at fundamentals. You know, they're looking at the profits to earning ratio or the current float or debt, that sort of thing. But I'm all statistics, and my goal in terms of risk to reward in putting my effort into making these strategies, I want to spend as little time as possible and make as much of a profit as possible. So my strategies are actually very simple because I'm able to kind of bang out strategies pretty quickly and run them live. Obviously, some of them don't do very well, but yeah, I'm a numbers guy. So I look at, you know, it's called the technical analysis side of trading and investing.
So last question, if I can, it is in the marketplace, the commercial marketplace, how much do you think this is being used by the large traders as opposed to the fundamentals, or are they tweaking their fundamentals judgments based on their AI models?
Yeah, so I would say they're equally using both. You know, TD and RBC down in Toronto, they probably have a team to specifically build models for fundamentals, where the analysts look at, all right, if we look at the correlation of the profits of a company and we correlate that with the stock price, you know, if they correlate, make a model off of that. And then they probably have another team that look at, okay, what's the difference in price of some type of stock every day, and then use that value to make a model of that to buy and sell based off of that data. I would say it's equal, right? And then there's all companies I know, they scrape social media as well. They're scraping Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, to actually build models to trade off of, right? Where Donald Trump will say something and they'll look at a keyword, right? And they'll correlate that keyword with the stock price. And they say, okay, every time he says this, the market goes up. So we're going to buy when, you know, he says that word. So there's many, many different ways to make models. There's ways to make models based off of weather, time of the year, seasonal. There's so many ways to make trading models. Right now, I'm in a small realm because it's just myself. But obviously, once you get a bigger team, it's much more worth it to build other models for different scenarios, because at the end of the day, you're diversifying, you're reducing your risk because having those different models, you know, they're buying and selling at different times, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's pretty insane. There's so much data out there, and it's getting easier and easier to access data. There's so many companies out there that are they're pooling data from everywhere, from every source that they can have, and then they sell that data to these hedge funds, and they use that data to make models off of them. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh, do we? How do you deal with taxes? Are you taxing it at day trading? Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, so I have an accountant that does that, but basically you're taxed at it's personal income. So if you're trading for yourself with your own capital, it's personal income tax, and I mean, my accountant handles it pretty much, but that's how it is. If you trade as a professional, or you're actually trading as a corporation, as an LLC, then it's a little bit different, and you can write off some stuff, but basically you're taxed for every profit that you make. I believe if you buy and hold a stock for X amount of time, you're basically only taxed when you sell, but I would definitely talk to an accountant about that. But because I'm day trading, I'm buying and selling within the day, every profit that I make, I'm pretty much taxed on.
Questions from Zoomers?
Can you put the last slide back up, please? Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I
think we're good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Madam.
Hold on, Todd.
We got a time delay.
Time delay?
There you go. Speaking of behalf of the club, I'd like to thank you for your presentation today. Earlier in your talk to us, you were discussing artificial intelligence, and then you had to segue right into Trump and his tweets, and I get the correlation between artificial intelligence and Trump. But moving on from there, I found it very interesting because when I was thinking of artificial intelligence and how you do things, I was thinking strictly like data collection, historical data, and didn't have a clue that you could do like real time with a tweet and with a specific word from a president or an incoming incumbent or somebody. And you can run with that, analyze it, and just take off. So it's not just historical data, there's real-time things that happen. I found that extremely interesting, but no clue. So.
Yeah. So with the internet, it's very generous. There's so much data you can collect and use to make these models. And I feel like a lot of people are not using it to its full advantage of how much data you can use. So yeah, when it comes to social media and those Trump tweets, I bet you every hedge fund and bank is using that info because every time you tweet something, the market goes crazy. So yeah, it's not just looking at fundamental data and the boring, how much is this company in debt or how much profit it's making. They're looking at a lot more things like social media, the weather, like I said, seasonal things, and other economic data. So yeah, it's very interesting and mind-blowing how much data you can use to invest for you. And I'm just scratching the surface, right? So there's a lot more that I'm not using.
Okay, well, once again, on behalf of the club, thank you very much for your presentation today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
So I too would like to add my thanks. Here's a certificate
Thank you.
of appreciation.
Awesome.
So for being our guest speaker, Rotary is very involved with ending polio, and the message this close. I just got to point this way. We got the Zoomers too.
Yeah, sure.
Can't forget the Zoomers. So we have made 10 polio vaccination donations in your name, along with a contribution to the fight against COVID, which our polio resource center is very involved in. And a thank you for coming out and speaking with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We can't shake hands.
Yes, I know.
That feels so incomplete, not being able to shake a hand. So thank you. Well, this is interesting meeting as we go forward. So President Debs, oh, thank you. Yes, appreciate that. President Debs' Stronger Together, Together Inspired moment comes from one of our very own who shared with me an emotional, inspired feeling and moment. So it is an example of our club coming together to help one of our own, a call out for gardening, and bam, it was done. So Ron Riley reached out to share how thankful he is for the help, phone calls, support given to both Kim and himself. And he shared how, he feels so much stronger for being part of our Rotary Club. And he certainly felt the Together Inspired moment. So he just wanted us to know that. So Ron is doing very well. So that is President Debs' Stronger Together, Together Inspired moment. Oh, I lost it. So, having no other business, Rotary business, I declare this meeting adjourned, and thank you all for your patience. And please don't congregate too much. Everybody's got their face masks on before they get up. Thank you, Zoomers, for your patience and understanding. We're done.